Hey crew, I've got the key to that 23 Genesis GV60 Performance. We are going to take it for a drive, but first let's check out how it looks on the inside and outside. Up front, we have a large black grille opening with a almost mustache border around it. There are LED projector headlights with LED DRLs. This one is painted in Matterhorn white. It's a matte white color. On the side, we see a set of 21-inch alloy wheels, striking design to those, wrapped in Michelin Primacy 255 section front and rear tires. Dark silver painted lower sill, body color matching door mirrors, flush door handles that do come out when you unlock it, gloss black borders to the windows and for the roof rails. Little lightning bolt there at the C-pillar. Stepping back to look at the profile, it is fairly squat and tall, almost toy car-esque. At the rear is a pronounced gloss black spoiler, LED taillights, Genesis badging, and a silver painted diffuser portion down low. Overall, the GV60's exterior looks vastly better than photos, though it's still not as provocative as the Audi e-tron or Cadillac Lyriq to my eyes. Let's check out the interior. To get inside, you have quite a few options. You can of course use the key fob or smart keyless entry, but the cool way is to use facial recognition technology. Scans my face, all checks out, doors unlock. This is great if you want to leave the key fob inside and run off and do an activity. Inside, we've got a navy Nappa leather interior with lime green accents, suede panels, perforations, and rear seat heating. On the doors, more leather, sunshades, suede. This is a reflective surface. You've got aluminum speaker covers for your Bang & Olufsen 17 speaker sound system, some textured trim here, one touch up down windows, little cup holder, little cubby, and injection molding. Sliding in, quite easy to do. Behind my own seat at 6 feet tall, I've got a bit of knee room, and then the foot pockets are kind of narrow to slide my feet under, and the floor is a little on the high side with the batteries underneath it, so it pitches up my knees at an angle. My head does barely clear the roof, but then if I want to angle the seat back, I lose the headroom. Head's on the roof now. You do have 2 USB ports, and I love this. This is a full-on pass-through to the front with storage. No air vents here because they're baked into the pillars amidst the suede wrapping for that and the headliner. There's a panoramic glass roof that opens from the center. Sorry, it doesn't open, the sunshade opens. Then there is an armrest that comes down with 2 cup holders and leather padding. The rear seats get a big thumbs up from me. Lots of stuff going on back here. Furthermore, I can even move this seat forward and out of the way to give this passenger more space. Let's check out the front now. Door close noise. Good, strong thud. Up front, we now have heated and ventilated chairs with power adjustments and massage. Aluminum tread plates, aluminum foot pedals, same material quality on the doors as the second row, but we now have 2-position memory for the front seats and these very cool dials to control your door mirrors. On the other side, that dial unscrews to allow you to add your own aroma pack. How fun is that? To open up the trunk, press and hold this button. And inside, we find 25 cubic feet of space. You can expand that by folding down 60/40 of these rear seats. No way to do that from back here though. You got to pull the tabs on the side of the seat. Under the floor, we find some storage for your charging cables, and that's about it. Power close and lock feature on the trunk. Your charge port door is over here. And you've got your AC and DC charging capability. If you can find it, there's up to 350 kilowatt charging for this car, so you can go from 10 to 80% in just 18 minutes. If you've got a level 2 charger, it'll take just over 7 hours, and level 1, not really a thing, 110 charging will take 68 hours. That is such a long time, and from experience, Even if you're just trying to top up the range, sometimes your home outlet won't do the job overnight, which is why I recently upgraded to a level 2 home charger from Autel. It was ultra simple to set up the Autel Maxi Charger 40 amp with a 240 volt outlet. It came with everything I needed to do an install in under 10 minutes, including pairing the charger to my phone via Bluetooth and connecting to my home Wi-Fi. Doing this unlocks some really useful features. For one, the Maxi Charger now gets over-the-air updates, and using the free mobile app, you can schedule charging for off-peak hours, monitor charge status, start and stop charging remotely. The charger itself is built really well, it looks clean, and it has high weather resistance to rain, snow, dust, and I love this one, temperatures ranging from -40 to 131 degrees Fahrenheit. The J1772 charge port is compatible with just about every EV, Tesla's being the exception, they need an adapter. The 25-foot long charge cable easily reaches a charge port anywhere on a vehicle, and charge rates are up to 7 times faster than a 110 outlet. This thing is a huge upgrade for me. Never again will I need to make a panic trip to a DC fast charger to top up an EV before a 0 to 60 test. Thank you. At $559 on Amazon, it's also not crazy expensive. I don't know why it took me so long to do this. Anyway, if you want to grab a Maxi Charger for yourself, I've linked it in the bio, and I want to thank Autel for sponsoring this video. That's enough talk about charging. Let's move back to the front of the GV60 cabin. We'll throw it in accessory mode to turn on the two 12.3-inch displays. You've got a reconfigurable digital instrument cluster, then your touchscreen infotainment with these very cool visual tiles. It's quick to respond, has wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Below the infotainment is textured trim across the dashboard. There's a secondary touchscreen for your HVAC settings. You have physical inputs with knurled finish edges, hidden storage, some open storage, 2 USB-C ports, and a DC outlet. I like that in the console area, they didn't go with gloss black. We have more textured trim, 2 cup holders, knurled dials for volume and tuning, a fingerprint scanner to bring up a profile of your customized settings, dial to control the infotainment if you don't want to touch it. The star of the show is this glass orb, which flows with the ambient lighting and then turns over when you start the vehicle to reveal your drive selections. Wireless smartphone charging pad, padded leather armrest under which we find just a little bit of storage. There is a glove box, of course, but it's a drawer. It's kind of neat. Stitched leather on the dash, head-up display, heated leather-wrapped steering wheel, great thickness in the hands. These tabs on the back control your regen braking. The design kind of looks like a bow coming out from the center. Visibility is just okay with those thick C-pillars that create blind spots. Thankfully, we've got standard blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic, and blind spot cameras. I'm all about this cabin. I like the colors, I like the materials, I like the features, and I like that they transition analog to digital very seamlessly. I'm excited. Let's go take the GV60 for a drive. All right, let's fire it up. And as we do, watch right here. How cool is that? And it does it quick enough that you're not like sitting there waiting for it to happen if you need to jam out and get in reverse real quick. It's just fast. All right, so let's start in the comfort drive mode. I'll then make sure that the active sound design is off, so we're not enhancing any of the noise from the electric motors. It's off completely. We'll turn it on later as we drive. To go into reverse, turn the what feels like a radio phone dial to the left. It's a fun action. That brings up a high-resolution backup camera, and you've got a few different views. If I wanted to, I could just pull up the camera system and show you the front views, including wheel shots, and then you got the wide-angle rear view. You have a 3D projection, which you can work your way around. But we're going to do the wide-angle backup camera to start. We also are showing 86% charge and 195 miles of range. That tracks fairly well with the total 100% charge estimated range of 235 miles. We'll do a turning radius test here while looking at the front view. The turning radius is just kind of okay. Definitely not as good as that Cadillac Lyriq I drove recently. That thing just pivoted. Turn signal sound. That could actually get annoying. I don't know what it is about that sound that could bother me eventually. And now for the world famous horn test. That's a good horn. Checks out. Middle of the road. I just turned on the one pedal drive mode, which I found to be almost a true one pedal experience. I usually at the very end of my braking need to actually apply braking force, but it does the vast majority of the slowing for me. And I like activating it with these paddles. Powertrain. Dual electric motor setup here, paired with a 77.4 kilowatt hour battery pack. The total output in the performance model is 429 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. However, with the boost function, right there, big yellow button, how fun is that? You bump that output to 484 horsepower. Around town, throttle isn't touchy, it's not laggy either. Ride quality is excellent. Keeping the cabin at ease, taking the bumps without any disruption. The Bang & Olufsen sound system also has active noise canceling that does a fair job, especially at lower speeds, of sealing up the cabin from wind, tire, and road noise. These seats feel comfortable as well, ergonomic. They go with the excellent ride quality and quiet cabin to make this feel like a luxury experience. But if you get tired of luxury and you want to see how the GV60 performs, we can show you that right now. All right, I've got my race box set up here, and before we do a 0 to 60 test, immediately followed by a braking test, I'm going to turn off the regen braking entirely so we don't help out those brakes in their performance. I'm then going to turn on the active sound design. I'll have it be the largest change, aka the loudest noise. And you have different settings for how that sounds. You can have futuristic, G-engine, E-motor, and you can even customize it. We'll try futuristic first, and then we'll change the drive mode. I'm going to go into sport, and then immediately before the 0 to 60, because it's only a 10-second timer, I will hit the boost button to unlock all 483 horsepower. Now, pointed straight, come to a full stop. I'm going to hit the boost button. We'll see a neat animation when I pin my foot on the throttle, letting go of the brake in 3, 2. There's 60 in 3.9 seconds, and then I'm going to slow down a little bit, pick it up a little bit, and the brakes felt good. The pedal was nicely resistant to the force of my foot on it, and the stopping distance was reasonable. Those Michelin Primacy All Seasons sure do complain though, both in acceleration and in hard braking. 3.96 seconds is quick to 60. It's not as quick as what Genesis says this will do, 3.7 seconds. Could be because we're not above 80% charge, but I mean, anywhere above 70% of your total charge should give you full power. Let's move now right into the handling of the GV60. We really do get moving. Can't say I love the futuristic soundtrack though. Man, we need a better set of tires. Summer performance, please. We also need better steering feel. The turn-in is quick, but you just get nothing out of this rack. Now trying the G engine sound, see if that's any better. A little bit of roll in corners. But the weight being so down low, you really don't feel the 4,800 pounds that this car has to lug through a curve. Nope, don't like the G engine sound either. Let's see how we do when the corners get tighter and traction and stability control are switched off. The electronic limited slip rear differential should get the power down well and may even let us wag the tail. Yeah, mostly just wants to understeer. Don't get me wrong, this is a lot of fun. It's just imprecise. The good elements of the GV60 Performance's handling are the low center of gravity and the point and shoot power of a high potency EV. But that's not distinctive in the marketplace. The brakes are okay too. Apart from the brakes, nothing else is distinctive in the marketplace. All EVs with batteries in the floor have low center of gravities, and all EVs with a lot of power can slingshot out of corners. What Genesis needs is Hyundai N Division's Albert Biermann to turn his attention to the GV60 and come up with something with steering feel for sure. Put a better set of tires on this car. Give it a better sound profile. I mean, I've gone through most of them. Let's try E-Motor. That's the best of the three. It basically just takes the electric motor sound and it enhances it. But none of these thrill me. It's not an enveloping driving experience aided by the soundtrack. So that could be improved. The chassis could be tweaked. If those things were addressed, this could turn into something great. Because the luxury here, the features, the comfort, the quietness, they're all grade A. Acceleration too. It just needs that extra something dynamically, athletically, that I believe someone like Albert Biermann could bring. With that having been said, let's now talk pricing and competition for this GV60 Performance. And as we do so, let's go into Eco Drive mode, which instantly kills the throttle response. And let's also turn traction back on. The starting figure for the GV60 Advanced is about $60,000. The Performance is $69,000. And this one, as tested with the Matterhorn white paint job, is $70,500. The range I already shared was 235 miles at 100% charge. And let's check in here on where we're at. 78 miles of range. You know what? To be fair, I need to go into comfort because the different drive modes give you different estimates of range. Yeah, 76 miles. We're down to 38% charge. That means we've dropped 119 miles from the 195 that we had to start. Real world, we've driven probably 30 miles. And of that, none was on the highway. This is the first time we're entering the highway. And 7 miles were driven aggressively. So at least 3.5 times the real world consumption is what it says we used of the total charge. That's bad. That's really just not good. You know, while we're here on the highway, let's try the steering assist system and adaptive cruise control. Like all Hyundai, Genesis, and Kia products, this system works fantastically well. Fantastically? Fantastic. Fantastically. Is that a word? Fantastically? Yes, it is. So, fantastically, I'm sticking with it. To return to the competition, the Cadillac Lyriq, and I drove the rear drive single motor version, but they're working on the dual motor all-wheel drive that should start around $65,000. It'll make, I should go a little faster. It will make 500 horsepower. It should get to 60 in about 4 seconds, and the range they're targeting is 300 miles. Then there's the Tesla Model Y Performance. That one starts at $71,400. It makes 450 horsepower, gets to 60 in the quickest 3.5 seconds, and has the max range of 303 miles. Then there's the Audi e-tron. That one starts at $68,000. It makes 402 horsepower, gets to 60 in 5.1 seconds, and has the lowest in the segment, 222 miles of range. Of those, the GV60, in my opinion, has the coolest cabin, the best features, the best material quality, and attention to detail with the tactile elements. It rides very nicely. I'm going to say the Cadillac Lyriq rides a little bit better and is a bit quieter inside now that we're at the highway speeds. You can hear some of that wind noise creep in. But this car just kills it from the interior standpoint. Exterior styling doesn't wow me, and the range and the handling are just underwhelming. So, for my money, I'd probably hold off for that dual motor all-wheel drive Lyriq, or I'd go with the Tesla Model Y Performance if performance is a bit more up your alley. GV60, done well, needs to be improved in range and in handling to get my vote. I hope you guys have enjoyed this PUV drive review. If you did, please like, comment, and share the video. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell to get notified, and I'll see you next time.